If you are tired of feeling like a fake, I want to give you a simple solution to get over imposter syndrome fast. Because instead of making 100 to 200k a year, you can make that in a month. And if when I said that, your first thought was something like, how can I make that a month? You know imposter syndrome is costing you millions of dollars, don't you? Now, I know exactly how you feel. Not too long ago, my business was making 10k a month and it was soaring to 20. And I hoped I would make my first million before 30, but it came tumbling down. It came tumbling down for one reason: imposter syndrome. No matter how many people I helped, I felt like I was dreaming. I felt like someone was going to burst the bubble and something would go wrong. It had to. Instead of putting my foot down and driving off into the sunset, I did the opposite. I took my foot off the gas, was pushing the brakes, and was gripping the wheel tighter and tighter, bracing for the crash. The problem was, there was nothing there. But what happens when you believe something is coming to stop you? You start doing the things that will stop you. That's called self-sabotage. That's what imposter syndrome does. And that's why you're watching this video today and not years ago. So no, if you don't fix this problem soon, things are going to get a lot worse. Because no matter how many people I help, the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. And the more this unworthy feeling attacks. Who am I to help you start, soar, and sustain your business? But then I hear your problems and know exactly what to tell you. And then I remember, I can help you. It's a roller coaster that cost me millions, and it's costing you millions too, and kept me from starting because I thought this was only happening to me. I felt like Elijah crying out to God, I'm the only one left. No one else understands. And if you've been afraid to start, if you've ever wondered how you can do it, and you're tired of feeling like an imposter, what I have to say for the rest of this video is going to help you overcome imposter syndrome. You will also see why you are special and why taking the next step today is what you must do to become the person you were created to be. I want to give you 10 reasons that empower you daily to create greatness, to not feel unworthy, and reach those you were created to serve. You are not alone. Elijah knew he was not alone. And I want you to know these feelings are normal for most of the people ever to walk the earth. In this area of life, you are like the billions of people to ever walk the earth. Thinking about that helps me take a big sigh of relief. But this is where what I say next might shock you. Now you know feeling like this makes you like everybody else, but doing the opposite is how you overcome imposter syndrome. But you don't hear this stuff as much as you should. Let me explain. I was listening to best-selling author Rabbi Daniel Lapin speak about something puzzling to scientists for a long time. It was the final piece to the puzzle for me because it's something revealed on the first page of the Bible. But I'll bring this back up later because when the rabbi spoke about this, everything clicked. He was talking about fingerprints. He talked about how scientists can't figure out why everyone has a unique set of fingerprints. No one from the past, no one living right now, and no one in the future will ever have the same fingerprints as you. Not even if you had an identical twin. Why don't even identical twins have the same fingerprints, he asked. I know you know we all have unique fingerprints, but this is the kind of thing they don't want you to focus on. This is the kind of thing they want to program you to forget. But I'll talk more about that later. As the rabbi continued, he talked about how our hands represent our creative ability. Think about the kind of things we use our hands for. We build with our hands. We hold things with our hands. We protect with our hands. And as he went on, he spoke about how scientists get puzzled, but Bible readers wouldn't be. Because on the first page of the Bible, God tells you why you have a unique set of fingerprints. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 to 27, it says, And God said, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. So God created man in his image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. The opening of the Bible teaches you about God creating everything. And the crown jewel of creation is mankind, you and me. God created us in his image and likeness. This is why you have a unique set of fingerprints. I'll tell you why this matters in relation to imposter syndrome in a moment. First, I want to share two important things with you about these two verses. One, this means you are special. It's like a rare Leonardo da Vinci painting. The Salvator Mundi, for example, sold at auction in 2017. No doubt many wanted this rare painting. I should be formal and say antique, right? But anyway, Mohammed bin Salman, Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia, was the winner. He bought this rare artwork for $400 million. And before you react, there was a $50 million auction fee. So all in, the Crown Prince spent $450 million. I said million in case you didn't hear me. Why though? Because it's rare. He likes valuable things, no doubt. But think about this. He can say he owns one of Leonardo da Vinci's paintings, which only a few people in the world can say too. How much more valuable are you than that when you think about how rare you are based on your fingerprints? Because you are one of a kind. You are special. Second, embrace your uniqueness. Stop running away from it. Imagine sending a Tesla back to the early 1900s. More and more people are driving Henry Ford's car now, but there's one Tesla driving itself. But imagine the Tesla had a message written all around it that said, like every other car. That wouldn't make sense, right? Because the Tesla would be different. It would be one of a kind. But the system actively taking all nowhere wants us to think we are all the same. That's what I realized I was doing. I would look at successful people and think, this only works for them. And I would tell myself they had a secret which I needed to get for myself. I thought they were the Tesla among all the other cars. And because of this, I would think, speak and act like I'm normal, when in fact, I'm special. When in fact, we are all more like a Tesla made on an assembly line, each with a special message on the steering wheel. And that special message is the manual to drive the car. They were driving the car with their special manual, and I was watching, but I was trying to get my car to move based on their manual. That was the secret. I realized the more I read successful people's books, listened to them talk, and watched them create, it was the same. They would talk about things they were doing, and I would think to myself, I'm doing the same thing. Why don't I have the same results? But there was one thing missing, the manual. Be yourself. You are special. There's nothing wrong with you. So act like it. I had to finally let go of being who I thought I'm supposed to be, who the system was programming me to be, and start walking in the right direction. Start becoming more of the person I'm created to be. The system wants to program you to do things a certain way. It's the difference between competing for a gold medal in the 100-meter race and gold in the relay. If I keep this information to myself, it's like winning the 100-meter. But if I create this video and other things to serve you, I'm passing the baton to you. And it's not about me searching for something new to win a gold medal for myself, but passing the baton so we can win gold together. This way, my creation helps me win, but also helps you win, because the only reason we are unique is to connect. We are all one piece of a puzzle, and when we put all the unique pieces together, we can see the masterpiece. But if we are all trying to act like the same pieces, the masterpiece is never seen. You see, I've been thinking about God creating me in His image and how there is nothing wrong with me for over 2 years. And I realized that my true worth and value comes from me running towards my uniqueness, not away from it. And because you are special and you embrace it, this helps you create the thing only you can, which will set you apart. And this is why things will start to fit in place when you do this more. And because God is a creator and I'm created in His image and likeness, this means there's something I'm created to create. So when it comes to creating a coaching program, a book, or creating this video, I don't talk, think or act like it's not special. I don't think, talk or act like, who am I to create these things? I think, talk and act like I'm special because I am, and I'm the only one that can ever create these things in this way. And this is exactly why it helps you. I used to think no one will like what I do. I remember a conversation I had with my best friend a few years ago. I was telling him about an idea I had, but I saw somebody else doing the same thing. It discouraged me, and I questioned if I should try. He said to me, there are people who will like the way I talk about the same topics, and it was true. And this is why you need people you respect around you. Listen to what they are saying about you, because they will tell you who you are if you listen. There are hundreds of videos on overcoming imposter syndrome, but none are like mine. And the moment I realized only I can ever create things the way I do, it became clear. I no longer have any competition. And this empowers me to create. I don't need to look at Rabbi Daniel Lapin, for example, and say, I can't promote him. I can't promote his work. I don't need to look at how he speaks about fingerprints and say, I can never speak about it because it won't be as good. He can never speak on it like me, and I can never speak on it like him, because we are both special in our own special way. But before we continue, think about something I realized. As this became clearer, I thought about how the system promotes fingerprints most. As I thought about it more, I remember painting in school as a child. Do you remember there were times you dip your hands in paint and then you'd press it down on the paper? Apart from that, the main thing was watching movies and seeing criminals get arrested. The police would take their fingerprints. Or when they are solving a case, it all made sense. The system knows we are special, but only wants us to think about it in a negative light. And it's only in recent years, unlocking your phone with fingerprints has become a popular thing. For most of my life, fingerprints got linked with criminals. But now I remind myself I'm special often by looking at my hands, especially when I'm down or feeling like an imposter. I look at my hands and ask myself, what am I going to create that no one else can for the people I'm created to serve? And I no longer feel like an imposter because I'm not, I'm me, and there's nobody else like me. So remember, you are special, act like you are special, and let these 10 reasons empower you daily to create something special, because that's what you were created for. But one more thing, the system actively taking all nowhere was set up before you were born. This is why you should watch the video I created for you, exposing one way they program you to be poor and how to escape. So go in and God bless.